All right, guys, today we're going to talk about what we think are the top 10 worst vehicles from the 2010s. Let's get into it. Let's go over how we came up with this list. So, kind of pooled everybody's minds in both shops, technicians, service advisors, parts people. You know, what are the vehicles that we see the most problems with in comparison? Obviously we've got some vehicles on this list that are a little more expensive, some that are a little less expensive, but kind of using that as a barometer or as a yardstick. Which ones are more expensive to fix, to maintain, more expensive to get parts for, difficulty of getting parts, which is a big thing today, and just reliability of the vehicle. So let's start off with an easy one. It's this one used to be a really, really good car back in the 60s and 70s, and now it's not so much. It's actually defunct now for sure, but that's a Dodge Dart. So Dodge Dart was around from the current version, 2013 to 2016. Lots of issues with them. The multi-air, system on it was problematic. You had, lots of leaks on these things, coolant leaks, especially. We see a lot of electrical issues. Parts procurement on these cars is very, very difficult now. We had one in here just the other day that we needed a shifter for it. You can't get a shifter OE. We got to use one. It came in. It was no good. Now we're trying to get another one. I mean, this was a 2016 vehicle. Person owns the vehicle. They need a vehicle. They don't want to have to go out and buy another one because it's 9 years old. You would think today, 2025, that we could have a vehicle that could last longer than 9 years. But you can't get parts for it, that's going to be a problem. Number 9. So this one is one that it's a popular car. See a lot of them running around. It's a Chevy Cruz. So this one's been around 2008 to 23. I think 23 is when they stopped making it. This was an inexpensive car along the lines with the Dodge Dart. Not a really expensive car, but the repairs just kind of really overwhelm the price of the vehicle. You think you buy something inexpensive, you're going to be able to drive for a little bit. And unfortunately, the repairs you're going to have to do might add up to what you paid for it. So we see a lot of turbo issues with these cars, coolant leaks, oil leaks. The valve covers are no good on them. It's just overall, it's just not a really great vehicle. And I understand that it's an entry-level vehicle. But again, you would think that if you've got something that's 5, 6, 7 years old, that maybe it would last a lot longer. And we're just seeing some that come in here that, I mean, they're just going. It's going to take a lot of money to do the repairs. I mean, even just an oil leak on the oil filter housing, not an inexpensive deal. Turbo's coming off. You're doing stuff with that too at the same time. So, we see that all the time. Valve covers, I think we keep them in stock. So these are notorious cars to have lots of issues with. And unfortunately, if you're purchasing a car kind of at that price level, you're kind of hoping to not have to spend a lot of money on it. And that's kind of what you're going to end up doing. Number 8. This one has been around for a very long time. I'm not saying that all of them are bad, but certain years are. It's the Ford Focus. I think it's been around since about 98, still going to today. They're still making it. But from 2012 to 2015, they had massive transmission issues. So many transmission issues that it wasn't about, if it was going to fail, it was going to fail. Could you get parts for it? The vehicle might just be defunct because you can't get anything to fix it with. So this one, and they vibrated really bad, just tons of vibrations on those vehicles that you could never fix. So this one was very easy. You want to buy an older one or a newer one. The newer ones we haven't seen as many problems with. I mean, every vehicle has problems that, that's out there, but not as many problems. But 12 to 15, stay away from them. Number 7, the first high-end vehicle that we're talking about. That's going to be a Land Rover with the 5-liter in it. This vehicle has got tons of problems, coolant leaks under the intake manifold, just springing like crazy. You get under that intake manifold, you're doing some coolant leak repairs, do it all, because you'll be back in there if you don't. Even if it's naturally aspirated or supercharged, doesn't matter. The supercharge just adds another level of labor to get under the intake manifold. So they've got brake vacuum pump issues, oil leak issues, timing chain issues, you name it, this vehicle's got it. And I mean, if you just want something fun to drive for a short time, you're going to buy it, lease it, and well, you're not going to do that with 2010 vehicles anymore. So, but this was a short-term vehicle for somebody, and now somebody buys it, and these repairs can get incredibly expensive. All right, here we go. number 6. This is the 2013 to 2019 Ford EcoBoost 1.5, 1.6, and 2-liter. These engines have massive coolant intrusion problems into the engines. Some of the repairs are replace the engine. I don't think we need to say anything more about that. I would not buy a car that I know has got a designed-in issue that coolant gets into the engine and the only fix is to put an engine in it. Yeah, Ford sells the engines fairly inexpensively, but it's not an inexpensive job. So let's get to the next one. Number 5, one of my favorites, the Mini Cooper. These cars have got tons of issues. We don't see a lot of the new ones. I don't know if people just have gotten smart and aren't buying a bunch of them anymore or what, but for a while we were seeing a ton of these. Timing chain issues, timing chain issues, timing chain issues. I say that about 5 more times. Oil leaks, turbos, you name it with these cars. Carbon buildup like crazy on the intake valves. I mean, these things, carbon buildup, when I say like crazy, I'm talking about quick, 15,000 miles. So these cars were they were fun cars. You know, if you just wanted to buy something to have fun and then get rid of it, this was the car to buy. They're super fun to drive, but they are not reliable. They will not last long, and they are not inexpensive to fix. They have big, major problems that happen with them. So that's why that's on the list.
So they're one of your favorites, though.
So sure, it's like they're one of your favorites, though. They're one of my favorites because we saw so many of them. I hate to say this, but we saw so many of them in such a short amount of time that we got so good at fixing them that, you know, they were good money makers for us. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, they were good money makers for us because people liked the cars and they took big repairs to fix them and people wanted to keep them. So, well, okay, we'll do it. So
just wanted to clarify why you said one of the worst vehicles is one of your favorites.
But it is, okay, and it is actually a fun car to drive. But you know, I wouldn't want to drive it on a long distance. Fun, short little car to drive.
You thought about buying one at one point.
Did I?
Yeah.
Number 4. This is any Nissan with a CVT in it from 2012 to 2018. After that, I think they've got it figured out for the most part. But 2012 to 2018, these things were a problem. They were gonna fail. So the Nissan Sentras, the Altimas, the Maximas, the Rogues, all those vehicles had them in there. They were problematic. You're gonna replace the transmission at some point. We didn't even really recommend to people to try to do a lot of services on them because we knew that they weren't gonna make the transmission live any longer. It's just kind of a waste of money. The warranty companies that do like the fluid services, if you do the fluid services on those on transmissions and you get a warranty with it, they wouldn't even cover those CVTs. They knew they were gonna fail. Number 3, Ford EcoBoost is back on the list. This time it's a 3.5 liter. Turbo problems. Turbo lines leak all the time. They leak coolant and oil. In order to replace them, the cap comes off the vehicle. So that's a labor-intensive job. Valve covers, when they have to be replaced, which they do quite often, they break a lot. They break so much they're on national back order. You've got phaser issues with these engines. A lot of really expensive repairs, which is why it's on the list. It's expensive repairs on the engine. It's not that, you know, everything on the whole vehicle is no good. It's that this particular engine in these vehicles is just expensive to fix, and it's not like it's a one-off for these things to happen. The coolant line, the turbo lines on these things all the time are going bad. And it's just such a massive job to fix them. So
some of them have the water pump too.
And some of them have, so the 3.5 liter, I believe it's a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter, has got this crazy water pump design where the water pump is driven by the timing chain. You got to basically take the engine out to do it. I think you could do it in the car, but better to take it out. But most of your EcoBoost don't have that, but some do have that same design. So that just adds a double whammy to you. So yeah, it's not the best one. I would steer clear of that one. Number 2. This is not going to be hard for you guys to understand. Most of you that watch me online know that I'm not a big fan of Kia. So Kia and Hyundai with the 2 liter and the 2.4 liters pretty much speaks for itself. Just tons of engine issues. We had a Kia tech that came to work for us for a little bit. Really great guy. And he said that they wanted him to do 3 engines per day. 3 engine replacements per day on these cars. They were so backed up with them. He said, I can get 2 done in a day. 3 was pretty tough. But that's, I mean, my gosh, that's got to tell you something right there. I don't really think I need to say anything else. Those engines are just, and I know that people blow me up all the time and say, oh, I've had Kias for this long and that long. I get it, but these cars that I'm talking about, the engines are just horrible. I mean, they're 2 a day for a technician to do, and there was 2 guys in that shop that they needed to do. So that's 6. They wanted 6 engines done a day. There you go. Enough said. Number 1 by a country mile. This thing has lapped the rest of the field. Any vehicle, any Chrysler with a 3.6 liter in it. The engines are just a problem. They've got something easy to fix. I say easy. They've got the oil filter housing, the oil cooler housing. It's an easy fix in that it's going to leak at some point. It's a bad design, and an aftermarket company has come up with a solution so that you can permanently fix that. Is it crazy inexpensive? Absolutely not. Is it crazy expensive? No, but it's still not cheap. But at least you can fix it and know it's good. If that was the case on all of it, I would say not bad. We can at least fix it and you can have a reliable vehicle. This thing has got massive lifter issues, which causes camshaft issues. The lifters go bad. They start tapping. You don't hear the tapping. You're driving around with the radio on. It doesn't take long. All of a sudden it wipes the camshaft out. Camshaft metal goes into the oil. Oil gets picked up, goes through the engine. Now we're buying an engine. Then you buy another one and you're buying the same exact thing that you just got. So, this is a major problem. We see these things. I would guarantee you call any Chrysler dealership right now and they've got these camshafts in stock. They've got the lifters in stock. That's not a common thing for a dealership to stock on an engine unless it is something that just fails all the time. These engines are just they're not reliable. They're not good. The rest of the vehicle, like this one here, nice vehicle, fun, nice inside. Don't see a lot of other issues with it. Really, if they could get the engine problem fixed or maybe get a different engine in it, this would not be a bad vehicle. We don't see a ton of other electrical issues with them. We don't see a ton of other like suspension issues or anything like that. We see engine issues, and they are so catastrophically expensive that people are like, I don't even know if it's worth putting in. I mean, these engines are crazy expensive to replace, and we just see them all the time. So it was an easy number 1. All right, well, the goal of this video is to save you money, and hopefully we've accomplished that. If you're going out to try to buy a used vehicle, these are the ones you want to stay away from. If you want to see the ones that we would highly recommend, leave a comment down below and let us know, and we'll make a video on that. We appreciate you watching. You know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.